what she originally looks like. Hey guys, it is the day after my birthday, but birthday festivities never stop. So today I'm going to be DIYing a bookish cake that I actually saw on Facebook the other day. It is so adorable and I've never seen anything like it before. I'm not actually going to make the cake from scratch. I do have an extra cake that my husband bought me that I'm going to use and just cut up and refrost. A little appreciation for my hair before we get started though. I've been freezing the cake for about an hour to 2 hours, so I'm going to go grab it now. Hopefully that'll make it easier for us to scrape off the frosting. Here's my cake. It's originally chocolate from Cup Foods, but it is really small. This is what she originally looks like. So the before, and obviously I just turned 24. I'm gonna throw these candles away though. Now let's go over all the things I plan to use for the cake. I printed out some sheets of paper with one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite series. Once upon a time in a land long since burned to ash, there lived a young princess who loved her kingdom. If you know, you know. And then for the other page, I didn't want to add text, so I printed a castle. It might be a little bit too big, so I might have to reprint it, especially seeing how little this cake is. I don't think these are gonna fit on it. I'm comparing it right now and it's not gonna fit. I will do that later. But next, I bought these flowers yesterday from Trader Joe's. Baby's Breath, obviously these are one of my faves. And does anyone else think that Baby's Breath smells like chocolate? One time I got the pastel Baby Breath and they really smelled like chocolate. Next, I bought this mini bundle of flowers from Trader's as well. It was only $4. That's a steal. And I got these pinkish yellow flowers because I think they would look pretty on the cake. Also pee my little bookish vase. I got this on Temu and I'm actually kind of mad about it because a month later, one of my friends online, she told me that Target started selling them in the $5 section and they were way cheaper than the one I bought, which this one was probably $7. It's so tiny too, which I did not realize. I thought it was gonna be bigger. But it doesn't even matter because I'm not gonna put this on my bookshelf. Obviously the water is gonna evaporate and then ruin all my books, which my sister actually told me, so thank goodness she did. Otherwise my collection would go to waste. First manner of business is I'm gonna go minimize these and then I'm actually going to dip them in coffee to give them kind of a brownish old looking color, to give them kind of a vintage, no, what is that word called? I just had to Google it because y'all know my brain doesn't like to work. I guess I could have used vintage, but I was looking for an antique look. I might even go in with a lighter and light the edges. Also, if you're wondering why I'm using regular paper instead of edible paper, it's because I did not want to spend the money for something I was going to use one time. Plus, I don't really plan to eat this cake just because it's such a cheap cake that I don't want to eat. It's just gonna be for looks and vibes. So yeah, let's go do that. Here we have them now. They are better size. I just have to figure out how I'm gonna cut them to be straight. I guess I could use the bottom of this. Right now I'm making a big mess. I'm attempting to scrape off all the frosting and this platter is not really helping. I might have to transfer the cake onto a new platter, which I don't know what that will be, seeing as I'm not a baker and I don't have these ready to use. I guess I didn't leave this in the freezer long enough because the frosting is basically back to that soft consistency. So if you're going to do this, I recommend freezing your cake longer. I didn't want to do it overnight just because I was afraid that it might be too frozen. Also, as long as we can get off most of the frosting and refrost it with white frosting, we should be fine. While I'm doing this and trying to be perfectionist, I'll talk more about how my birthday weekend went. Today's Monday and I took it off for my birthday just because I can and I want to. I also took off Friday because that's when I went bar hopping with my friends. Well, actually, we didn't really make it because we got too messed up at the pregame. This weekend was the longest weekend in my life, I swear. I don't know what it was. I guess like the excitement just got to me and so I had to do a lot of waiting because on Friday, since we were doing night activities, I had to wait till like 9 p.m. to see my friends, and since I took the day off, I was so bored all day. And then Saturday, I didn't really do anything for my birthday. I just went out again with my friends, but it was for a different event, not birthday related. Yesterday, which is Sunday, my mom decided to make some food for my birthday, so that was really nice. And I got to play Mario Jamboree with my sisters, and I actually won. One petty thing that happened though is I got the first star and then I landed on a Bowser immediately after that. Oh my god. All 5 of the options were for Bowser to steal my star, and I was so annoyed by that. But at the end of the day, I did win, so who cares? And now today I'm baking my cake, obviously. Originally I planned to do nothing, but when I saw that post on Facebook, I was like, I have to have this cake. I think what I'm gonna do now is just transfer the cake onto a parchment paper and just decorate on that. Obviously the cake is a circle, and so I'm going to cut it into a rectangular shape, hopefully. I just cut the cake. And now I'm going to use some of these end pieces to make it a rectangle. Sometimes I don't big brain, so this is going to take a minute for me to figure out. I'm going to use some of the frosting to stick the sides on. Oof, this is so messy, guys. One thing about me is that I hate a mess, but I also love to make myself work extra hard, apparently. Just for the aesthetics. That has always been a me thing. Guys, how do I do this? Am I just stupido? I'm gonna cut a triangle. Put it on the end. There we go. Okay, big brain. Work. Okay, it's kind of ugly, but you know what? We're making it work. The other thing I have to do is kind of cut in the middle so that it looks like a book, you know, because that's what we're doing. This side is definitely not giving book. This side, kind of. Maybe if we cut right here. Sorry, I'm so silent because I'm concentrating too hard. This looks good to me. I also forgot I need to dye my paper, so let's do that now because the paper is going to take a while to dry. Love how it smells. While I was getting my dryer, I was thinking, do I actually want to dip the whole thing in it? Or do I just want to like splash water on it? There's no good way of doing this. Sorry. I had to dig for my baking gear and I have a little brush. I might just use this. Just a little bit and like brush it over. Oh God, this doesn't look good. Kind of love it. Now let's hope it doesn't stick to my counter. She's looking cute, giving antique, and I'm gonna blow dry it now. This is perfect because I didn't want it too dark, but it still looks like an actual paper. I mean, it is actual paper, but I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you know what? It's looking good. Now let's do this one. I did flip the cake around because this side is the prettier side. I realized that when I take pictures, I'm going to be taking it from this angle, so I obviously want to see the arch. I still can fix this one. Oh my gosh, I think we might have to print these a little bigger because I just realized with the frosting, the cake's going to be like a centimeter or two larger. Damn it, I shouldn't have cut it so small. This is just a very chaotic. But shall we talk about my current read? I'm reading The Shadows Between Us, which is a young adult book by Trisha. I saw this originally at Target, and my favorite map artist who drew Once Upon a Broken Hearts map drew the map for this book that I'm currently reading, so that's why I was intrigued. I also loved the special edition at Target when I saw it, so I knew I had to add it to my Kindle, and I actually do pay for Kindle Unlimited. This book is on KU if you have it and you want to read it. I think I'm only like 20 pages in, but I am really intrigued by it. The storyline sounds cool, and the Goodreads reviews were pretty good as well. I think I saw that more people liked book 2 better, so I am excited to get to that one. I know that first books in series usually aren't the best anyway, so I'm not expecting a 5-star read or anything. Thankfully, I have been out of my little reading rut, and by the way, I did finish Legendary. That book was so good. But I have been putting off finale just because I don't want to finish the series. Something about Stephanie Garber and her writing just brings to life such a magical universe that I don't want to let go of. And if you didn't know already, I actually read Once Upon a Broken Heart first, so it's not like I can finish Caravella and jump into Once Upon a Broken Heart again for the first time, which is truly devastating and heartbreaking because I love that series. Okay, this looks better now. I bought Cool Whip yesterday and I'm going to use gelatin to make it a little thicker. That way it's stiff and I can frost the cake better. So back to Caraval. I'm super scared to finish the series because I know I'm gonna miss it. I feel like I'm gonna go into a slump. And I have been in one this whole summer, so I'm trying to avoid that. There's not really any magic to this gelatin. I'm not measuring or anything. I'm going with whatever my heart tells me to. If you grew up in an Asian household, you know we never measure. And then I don't want this to be too thick, so I'm obviously not going to use it all. I just heated this up for maybe 10 to 15 seconds. It does get hot really fast, so we have to let this cool before we mix it with the Cool Whip or it's gonna go bad. It's gonna go south really fast. And thankfully I live in the freezing state of Minnesota, so I can just set this outside and it'll cool down pretty quick. I really wasn't joking when I said my channel's basically a cooking channel because every video I'm cooking in it. But this one is a little different because I'm not actually cooking, I'm just decorating and hopefully giving you guys some inspo. And I really hope that if you guys watch this, you'll be able to follow easily and recreate your own cake. Though I'm more than positive you could probably do it without a video, especially if you grew up during the DIY era, which I did. And so I love to do anything creative. What else am I currently reading? Am I really only reading one book right now? Usually I don't. I usually read like 3 books at a time, which is actually really hard. And what's even harder is when I read books that have very similar plot lines within a short time span. During the summer, I read Gothicana, and since I was in my slump, I couldn't really tell if I enjoyed it or not. A couple months after Gothicana, I think only a month after Gothicana, I started reading The Curse. Oh, I don't know. I just returned this book the other day. Oh God. It's not The Curse. It's The Coven by Harper L. Woods. I did enjoy it when I was reading it on KU. That's why I pre-ordered the book at Target. But now that I think about it, it was just okay. The reason why I'm talking about Gothicana and The Coven is because they have a very similar storyline that I kept mixing them up. So I do not like reading stories with similar plots around the same time. Last winter when I started ACOTAR, I fell into a slump obviously and decided to read Throne of the Fallen immediately after, and that was a big mistake because there were a lot of similarities I found in Throne of the Fallen and ACOTAR that I did not like. I know people love that book so much, and I'm not saying I hated the book. I did enjoy it. I just think I didn't enjoy it to the fullest that I could have because I had just finished ACOTAR. Also, another thing about me is I do not like to reread, so as much as I want to reread Throne of the Fallen and try to capture that excitement that everybody else has for it, I don't think I ever could just because I know how it goes. Even if my memory is not the best, I think I ruined it for myself and I'll just never love that series as much as everybody else does. But side note on that, I did find out that the second book for that series is actually released and I did purchase it at Target because they're doing their buy 2 get 1 free. So that'll be coming in soon and hopefully that one is going to be a little better. I did really like Envy in Throne of the Fallen, but again, I did myself so dirty by reading it after ACOTAR. Like, somebody should have told me that I need to take a break and just not read anything. While I'm waiting for the stuff in the fridge, I'm gonna burn the edges of my pages just to see how it looks. It actually does look cute. I just thought about how the whipped cream is gonna be white and the page is a little brown. So I might have to dye it brown with coffee again, but then I just put gelatin in it. Maybe I'll mix some coffee with the gelatin. I'm kind of scared it's gonna ruin the consistency. Do you guys like straight up black coffee or do you like to mix it with cream and other ingredients? Because I can only drink coffee if it has a bunch of sugar in it. And now I'm gonna put in the coffee jelly. Not too much now. I'm scared. Not too bad. Didn't turn out that dark. I might just add a little bit more. I am notoriously bad for crumb coating. I've never been good at it, so I can only hope that this turns out good. Oh my goodness. I hate when this happens. Like, what do I even do now? I can't put it back in the bowl. Baking used to be one of my favorite hobbies. A very amateur hobby though, because no matter how much I practiced, I was never that good. I used to make cakes from scratch, cinnamon rolls, cupcakes, but now not so much just because I really hate cleaning up the mess. Dishes are my worst nightmare. And thankfully, my husband will clean the dishes most of the time. I guess I won't focus too much on this side since I'm not gonna photograph it. I'm always impressed when I see at-home bakers. It is truly taxing decorating a cake. And I never understood how people can get the frosting to look so clean and perfect on their cakes. I don't want to hear anything about my hair being in the cake or anything like that. Obviously, if I'm cooking for other people, I do put my hair up. This is just for me, my birthday, so please don't come for me about my hair. At this point, I'm gonna put a time lapse because I don't think you guys want to watch me struggle for another 20 minutes. The cake has been in the fridge for about 30 minutes. I'm just not sure if I want to frost it again because what I realized is that I'm going to be placing the paper on the frosting on the top. And then on the sides, I'm planning to do detailed lines to make it look like pages in a book. So it doesn't have to be perfect. We are back to being ghetto. I had no cake board, so I used this old chemistry textbook I have from college. Chopped off the front page. Here it is. And now I'm gonna cover it with a white sheet of paper and tape it together and then put my cake on it because I need something stable for my cake to sit on. Oh no, I'm scared. I think it's gonna get messed up. I need to flatten it more. Let me show y'all what we're looking like down here. A big, big mess, but it's fine. Oh no, the cream is gonna look so messy underneath. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm just stunned. But the perfectionist in me is screaming. All right, no need to panic, everyone. The perfectionist in me fixed everything. Here she is. She did kind of break in the middle, so just ignore that. Oh, also, yeah, I had to press her down, so those are my fingerprints. It doesn't matter because we're gonna put the piece of paper on top. Do you know what I just realized? This is actually the perfect quote because long since burned to ash. Meanwhile, here I am burning these pages to ash. Let's add the pages on. This is how she's looking like. The pages could have been a little bit bigger, I will say, but it's fine. I'm just being really extra with this. Of course, if it's your cake, you don't have to add the detail of the pages. Let's start on the edges just because I'm so scared. Kind of worked. Not really. Let me try to go in with a spatula and do it. If anything, it's adding to the cake because the pages are already burnt. I just realized I could also use a toothpick to draw on the curved lines because those ones are a little bit harder and it looks so much better. Now what I'm gonna do is add the flowers. I wanted to use my reference photo, but I think I should be fine. This is not really a good angle for you guys. I don't really know how to do this, honestly. I think I'm gonna put this like this. I'm gonna put it right here. Maybe I'll put a pink one over here. Okay, I think if I do more than that, it's gonna be overdone. I'm just gonna cut the stem off right here. Move everything out of my way. Clean up my mess so I can get a cute thumbnail. Ooh, I also forgot to add these mini pink ones, so let me do that right now. This is exactly why I said cake decorating is not for the weak. She doesn't look amazing, but I mean, she doesn't look terrible too. Thing is, where do I want this one? Maybe with the baby's breath. Yes, right there is good. I'm sure y'all could already see her, but I want to show y'all again. I'm actually so proud of myself. Isn't she cute? Now I'm gonna go take some pictures. Look at this beauty with the Christmas tree, the backdrop. She's perfect. Obviously, she's not entirely edible, but I wasn't planning to eat her anyways. This is what the setup is looking like. I obviously cannot take pics without the series behind the inspiration of this cake. Let me shine my light. I had to use my Alex Earl light because it's raining really bad outside. I'm using this blanket that my aunt got me for my wedding. Kind of sad that I have to put on the floor because I do like it, but it makes for a good backdrop for photos. See, we got inspo. Oh my gosh, I changed for my pictures. I still have to take them, but that's gonna be it for this video. If you watched this video, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get some inspo. I wasn't the best at giving instructions, but I love you if you stayed all the way. I'm for real gonna go take my pictures now, and I'll see you on another one.